Alright, I got two random topics I want to talk with you guys about. First of which, we'll be talking about this new law being put in place in Florida where if you want to get any sort of state assistance there, any sort of welfare, that you're going to have to pass a drug test. It's looking like this is pretty much going to pass. In fact, someone may get me up to speed on this because I thought it did end up passing when I was trying to look and I couldn't find anything about it 100% passing yet. Anyway, I have kind of mixed feelings about this. For the record, I want to say, like, if you are on welfare, you know, you're living off the state's money per se. No, you shouldn't be investing in drugs, and passing a drug test is a pretty good requirement as far as I'm concerned. But the thing with this is there's so many different ways that one can waste their money that isn't seen as productive for someone who either, you know, doesn't have a job or doesn't care to get a job, whatever the case may be. That why and how could you limit it to just something like drugs? And when I ask myself a question like that, that's when I see a group like the ACLU or some other group coming in and basically challenging this law. Companies, or excuse me, organizations that have the money to lawyer the hell up. And please keep your Apple logo off my screen here, all right? Don't make me smash the MacBook in front of everyone, because everyone would like that. Anyway, I mean, the ACLU is just gonna, you know, challenge, saying, like, you know, who is the state to tell us that, you know, we can't do something with our recreational activities? And granted, I know the argument is, well, they're doing it with the state's money, so yeah, the state should have a say in it. But still, then, well, what should we say? Should we ban them from going to casinos? Should we ban them from going to bars? Like, if they audit someone who's on welfare and it shows up that, you know, they were, you know, taking ATM withdrawals at a casino, or, you know, there's a tab at a bar, you know, should we limit them from doing that? Anyway, the point being is, I don't see laws like this ever being held up. And I see them always being challenged, and I honestly don't see how they could pass. But by the way, Girlfiend, this is the commercial that I was telling you about, where it says it's just showing the seasons, the Walking Dead marathon for just this season. Anyway, she was trying to tell me about something the other day, and anyway. And another thing that I always wondered about them passing these laws is, like, well, what is the ultimate goal of passing a law saying, you know, you have to pass a drug test in order to get welfare? Like, is it to, you know, help keep people off of drugs? If that's the case, then why not do just random drug testing of any citizen in that state? I mean, why limit to just welfare people? Why not the people with money that can buy, you know, insurmountable amount of drugs? Anyway, I don't know, maybe it's just a plan to get undesirables out of the state of Florida and, you know, push them to, like, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia, whatever. Anyway, I don't know. Who knows what the grand plan of this is, but I don't know. I just found this interesting. I found this as a series of laws.
No, it's not.
That, what?
It's going into the second season and the first season. This is from the first season.
Alright, we're having a Walking Dead argument. You know, that's what the show does to happy couples.
That's what happens when you start watching it in season 3 and don't understand what's going beforehand.
Just go back to sticking your face in your MacBook and watching iHorror videos. Anyway, yeah, so now the second thing I want to talk about, I kind of rambled on quite a bit about the first topic here, is this whole Weather Channel. They've come up with this unique concept of naming winter storms. Now, it's been known for some years that tropical systems, both in the Atlantic and Pacific, get given names, and that's determined by the Weather Society of some shit. I don't know. They've been doing it for a long time. That's the point that I'm getting at. And that is the only thing that has been given names as far as any sort of storm system goes. Like, you know, you don't have like a tornado that runs through Kansas that does a lot of damage. You name it, like, you know, an evil name like Hurricane or Tornado Hitler. Anyway, let's call it a hurricane. Anyway, I see this, and I started tweeting with people about this. I see this as something that's completely unnecessary. It's just one step away from going into the realm of corporate sponsorships for something like storms. Like pretty soon, like we'll see like the Home Depot hurricane, the Lowe's hurricane, just like, you know, shit like that, just because they want to say to the Weather Channel, hey, you know what, we'll give you, you know, 50 grand if you name the storm, because it's an arbitrary process decided by the Weather Channel, and it's just dumb. It's just really dumb. I mean, like this winter nor'easter that just hit the Northeast just yesterday was called Nemo, and like, you know, yeah, the Finding Nemo jokes and all this other stuff, and it's just like, why? What's the point? What's the point in doing this? It's just, I don't know. What's the point of even making a rant video about this, one could say as well. Well, that's a good question too, which is why I'm going to wrap this up. Anyway, Weather Channel, just, you know, stick to giving us the weather. You don't need to find little quirky names for every storm, and the Weather Association will take care of naming the hurricanes. And anyway, I'm going to go back to watching South Park, because I don't want to watch The Walking Dead, because it's a season I didn't see yet. By the way, The Walking Dead is a great show. I started watching it from the 3rd season. I've yet to see the first 2 seasons. Isn't that right, Girlfiend?
Yes.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
She's giving me an evil face like she's going to attack me. Anyway, by the way, new season of Archer is on, and Archer is hands down, I've declared this with this recent season, Archer is, she's trying to entice me, guys. She wants a puppy, alright?
It's General Custard. It's so cute. Look at how cute
the dog's name is Custard, but anyway, the general is Custer. There's no D on the end of it. Anyway, Archer, if you guys haven't checked out that show, check it out. That is hands down the funniest show on television right now. Also, Spartacus is on, and we are going to go watch the 3rd episode of this final season of Spartacus right now, aren't we, Girlfiend?
No, because we don't have General Custard here.
Have a great day, everyone.
You gotta admit, he's really cute.